Although Aristotle Dumas has at last been unmasked as Cain Ashby, the Young and the Restless big summer plot has only just begun. This week, more Genoa City residents find their way into the maze. Former lovers wind up in potentially steamy situations, and the enigmatic host makes it clear that he's not to be underestimated. Perhaps, not surprisingly, it's Lily, aka the former Mrs. Ashby, who will be taking a firm stance. No more secrets and no more games, she demands in the preview video, which you can watch in its entirety below. Her fellow mazemates agree, and yet they're left with more questions than answers as the truth is slow to roll out. Meanwhile, Lauren and Michael become the latest to join the party, a situation which will surely ruffle Victor's feathers. After all, it was only a few short weeks ago that Michael walked away from the mustache's employ. So what exactly brings him to France? And with whom will he and his wife find themselves aligned? Elsewhere, a seemingly simple request from Audra could lead to sparks flying with former beau-turned-rival Kyle. He, however, isn't the only one playing a potentially dangerous game, as back home, Claire is cozying up to Holden over cocktails. As questions arise about others with connections to Cain, including Jill and Chance, the erstwhile Dumas talks tough regarding Victor, and Phyllis appears to be in the right place at the right time. She may not have been invited to the soirée, but her determination to forge an alliance, not to mention her friendship with Cain's attorney Amanda, just might land her in the winner's circle. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. All those years ago, Joshua Morrow was bummed. He'd auditioned to the nth for the part of the bold and the beautiful stripper Dylan Shaw, and hadn't gotten it. But about a week later, he got a life-changing call. The Young and the Restless wanted to meet with him about the role of Nicholas Newman. They're like, "Hey, this one didn't work out, but we think you'd be great on Young and Restless." I was like, "Awesome, man," he tells Soaps.com. I assumed I'd go back to that whole long process, but literally, my read was with the show's late, great co-creator, Bill Bell and Ed Scott, in their corner office with Heather Tom, who at the time was playing Nick's sister, Victoria. That was it. I read one time, and then Ed looks at me and goes, "You got the job, kid." I was like, seriously? It was that fast. Though it seemed to Morrow that things had progressed at lightning speed, that wasn't quite the case behind the scenes. They'd been looking for someone to play the son of super couple Victor and Nikki for a while, and they were deep in their process, he says. Since the powers that be already knew from his bold and beautiful tryout how promising a prospect the newcomer was, I was very fortunate to be the guy who booked the gig, and on only his fourth audition ever even. Soon after Morrow made his Young and Restless debut on June 21st, 1994, he became not only a fan favorite, but a front-burner mainstay and a multiple Emmy nominee to boot. At this point, the leading man is as pivotal to the show as Nadia's theme and shipper wars between supporters of Fic and Chic. And he loves doing the show as much as its viewers adore seeing him on it. From the very start, he was hooked. On his first day, he recalls that his inaugural scene was taped with Tom at 7:30 a.m. I'd never done a job, not a single job in this world, and I just assumed it was like an all-day thing. I had 4 scenes with Heather, and I was done at 8 in the morning. I was like, all right, well, what do I do now? They're like, you go home. Back then, I was still living with my mom, so I drove home and walked in the house, and my mom's like, "What are you doing here? Did you get fired?" He continues. I'm like, "No, I shot my show. I'm done for the day." Now, it's rarely like that, but it's a great schedule. I just remember that day being very uniquely exciting and nerve-wracking. I really wanted to do a good job. And 30 years later, here I am. Time has flown by, and I couldn't be more proud. It's an awesome achievement, and I'm just so thankful the show stuck with me for this long. And to think, if Morrow had wound up winning that bold and beautiful role instead, things would have worked out very differently. I joined Young and Restless shortly after Dylan Neal had started on Bold and Beautiful, so I saw him all the time. We became buddies, but I want to say he only lasted 2 or 3 years, and that could have been me. They could have been like, You know what? We're done. But getting Nick Newman, who's obviously a cornerstone of the show and a huge part of this main family, I mean, some longevity was sort of baked into it. Assuming that's what I wanted to do and was responsible and showed up on time and was efficient, I could stay as long as I wanted pretty much. Luckily, Morrow isn't one of those actors who sees daytime as a stepping stone to higher profile work. I couldn't want to be famous less, he says, and for all intents and purposes, I'm not. Nobody cares what I do in this town. There are far, far more people who are way more famous and interesting, so I can live my life and not have to worry about that. So this is an incredible way to provide for my family, to make a great living, and to be in a job that is very fulfilling, that lets me work with incredible people. It's really been just like the Powerball of jobs, as far as I'm concerned. Eric Braden from The Young and the Restless is in Canada at the moment, and he dropped a lovely photo that made Canadian fans happy. He was recently at the Comic-Con in Niagara Falls, so perhaps he stayed on for a bit. Eric has 153K followers on his Instagram account, so when he shouted out a place in Niagara on the lake, many YNR fans from that country loved it. It might have been a promo, or he could have just done his hosts a favor by spreading the word. In his caption, the daytime drama star said, "Whenever people, no matter where they live, see their favorite TV stars, they hope for a visit to their hometown one day." So, folks familiar with the area quickly jumped into the post to have their say about the place and their country. One of them wrote, "Welcome to Canada. You've picked a beautiful place to visit." Here are a few more happy folks from the country. Eric Braden doesn't hail from Canada. In fact, he was born in Germany in 1941. Did you know his hometown was called Bredenbeck? As you can see, when he changed his name from Hans-Jörg Gudegast, he incorporated a bit of his hometown's name in Braden. Eric Braden made a fantastic career as an actor stateside, and he's probably best known for his role of Victor Newman in YNR. However, the Emmy Award winner also starred in other shows and movies like Escape from the Planet of the Apes. If you want to know more about Braden, he published a book titled I'll Be Damned: How My Young and Restless Life Led Me to America's #1 daytime drama. It's not surprising that the locals loved seeing him in their country. After all, his book became a Canadian bestseller. Did you like the photo that Eric shared on his social media this week? Are you an admiring Canadian fan of him on the daytime drama? Shout out in the comments below, and come back here often for all your Young and the Restless cast news and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers imply that a behind-the-scenes video that has surfaced is giving fans a sneak peek into what to expect in the land of Genoa City in the days to come. Or should that be in the land of Nice? Adam Newman will embark on an urgent mission to locate Victor Newman, Nicky Newman, and Nick Newman in France to reveal some bad news. The video shows a frantic Adam bursting into Victor and Nicky's train cabin in France, and Nick will be there. All three will be shocked to see him there, and his brother will wonder how he got up to the mountain, considering everything is closed. Adam will tell Nick it was no easy feat, and he'll gear up to tell Victor, Nick, and Nicky some terrible news concerning Aristotle Dumas. In fact, in the clip, Adam tells Victor, "And you're not gonna like it, Pop. You're not gonna like it one bit." After the preview is shown, Mark Grossman relays in the clip that Adam will go to extreme lengths to reach Victor, as he has some news about Dumas that he felt he needed to urgently share. Wouldn't a text suffice? Maybe not. Has Adam gone through all this trouble to tell Nicky, Victor, and Nick Dumas' true identity? The black sheep of the Newman family may be disheartened to find out that the three already know this. After all, during the Friday, June 20th episode, Kane Ashby, who is now played by Billy Flynn, came out of the shadows to reveal himself to his GC friends as Dumas. The Young and the Restless, spoilers note, the cat is out of the bag. Kane Ashby has officially returned to CBS, and he's also the mysterious mogul that everyone has been talking about lately, Aristotle Dumas. Actor Billy Flynn finally debuted on the daytime drama during the week of June 16 to 20 as the recast. So now, as everyone reels in the aftermath, one question remains. Why has he targeted Victor Newman and Chancellor? The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Kane was close with Jill Abbott. In fact, there was a moment in time when she believed he was her son, Philip Chancellor. That ended up being a lie, but despite this, Jill bonded with Kane and acted as a mother figure in his life. She grew very close to his children, Charlie Ashby and Maddie Ashby, as well as Lily Winters. In many ways, she acted as a mother-in-law to Lily and grandmother to Charlie and Maddie. While Kane has been rivals with Victor for years now, this might have been a friendly competition in Ashby's mind. After all, he may have taken pleasure in the idea of going toe-to-toe with the great Victor Newman. With that said, once Victor snagged Chancellor away from Billy Abbott by manipulating Jill, this became personal. It's interesting that among the GC elite who were invited to Dumas' home in France, Chance Chancellor was one of them. Technically, Chance is an elite because of his last name, but he doesn't exactly live this sort of lifestyle. Still, could the reason behind Kane's big party center around his Chancellor takeover, as well as revealing himself to his Genoa City friends? As Chance once worked for Chancellor, will Kane hope that the cop will turn in his badge once more and help Billy and himself run the company? Jack Betts, an actor who is best known to soap fans for his turn as Dr. Ivan Kipling on One Life to Live, passed away in his sleep at the age of 96 on June 19th in Los Altos, California. His last soap opera appearance was on The Young and the Restless in 2002. Betts was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. When he was 10, Betts and his family relocated to Miami, Florida. He went to the University of Miami and studied theater. Betts' early TV credits included the role of Chris Devlin on Checkmate. His first soap role was Dr. Ken Martin on General Hospital, but it was his role as the creepy Dr. Ivan Kipling that put him on the soap opera map. Betts originated the role of Ivan in 1979 and returned a few times over the years. Dorian Lord brought Kipling to town and wanted him to take over Dr. Larry Wallach's job as Chief of Staff at Longview Memorial Hospital. During his reign, Ivan terrorized Larry's wife Karen by kidnapping her and taking her to a jungle hideaway. Betts reprised Ivan in the mid-1980s when it was revealed the character had received a bionic hand. The actor worked regularly in primetime TV and film. Betts amassed over 100 credits throughout his career. He appeared as Henry Balkin in the 2002 Spider-Man film starring Tobey Maguire. Betts guest starred on Friends, Everybody Loves Raymond, Frasier, and Seinfeld. His last soap opera role was on The Young and the Restless in 2002. He played a jeweler who sold Victor Newman an engagement ring when he was going to remarry Nikki. Betts also appeared as art thief Louis St. George on Another World from 1982 to 83. He appeared on Search for Tomorrow as Dr. David Glenn, and on Guiding Light as Dr. John Cutler, an adversary of the Lewis family. Betts popped up in the premiere episode of Generations on March 27, 1989, as Patriarch Hugh Gardner, who died in the first episode. On Loving, he played Charlie Rescott in 1988. In real life, Betts was pals with actress Doris Roberts and Thao Penglis. "My dear Jack," Penglis began an Instagram post, honoring his late pal. "We spent some extraordinary times together when we traveled to Egypt many times, climbing together up over Hatshepsut's mortuary temple overlooking the Valley of the Kings, until the secret police screamed at us for trespassing, but the next day we crossed Sinai Desert to St. Catherine's Monastery. Going then into Syria to Palmyra just before ISIS charged through," Penglis continued. "He loved adventures as much as he did his passionate work as a writer and actor. We studied with the great Milton Katsilas for over 25 years. It was our golden age, as did Doris Roberts. We broke bread twice a week. Ah, the great stories we privately shared in the world of the shallow, he always kept the candle lit. I will miss him terribly for that rare friend whose arms were always open." The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that the show's gearing up for a major twist in Nice. There's going to be a fatal whodunit with a shocking victim at the center of it all. So who's it going to be? Before Damien Kane left for France, Amy Lewis shared a spine-chilling hug with him that raised concerns. It led to speculation that Damien might not make it back from this trip alive. However, that alone isn't enough to prove Damien's going to be the murder victim. What if Amy felt that chill simply because Damien was walking into a dangerous situation? From a writing standpoint, maybe the goal was more about setting the mood for the creepy bash to come. Amy may have just done her part to intrigue fans and get them worried about what the partygoers would face. With that in mind, we should at least consider the possibility that the whodunit victim will be someone else. There's definitely a new fatal contender now that we know Chance Chancellor is about to join the festivities. In Y&R's preview video for the week of June 23 to 27, Chance's appearance at the party brings a debate among Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott, Billy Abbott, and Sally Spectra. The four of them can be seen discussing the possible motives Kane Ashby might have had for sending Chance an invitation. Out of all the people invited, Jack will point out that Chance stands out the most. Could this new focus on Chance mean he's the one who won't survive what's in store? We should mention that buzz is growing about the possibility of Connor Floyd joining Days of Our Lives as a Chad Dimera recast. If Floyd is heading over to duel as Chad, then he'll be stepping into Billy Flynn's old part. Floyd might be getting a new contract soap gig, so killing off Chance on Y&R makes sense. Recurring Chance isn't doing much these days other than being a cop, so he lifts right out of the show. At the same time, Chance is a significant enough character to tug at heartstrings if he faces a grim fate. It seems like Chance would be the perfect murder victim, so we'll see if he might be a goner. Whatever the case, The Young and the Restless spoilers say this France storyline will bring a deceased victim and some jaw-dropping news, so stick with us for updates on all the action. This week on The Young and the Restless, secrets simmered perilously close to the surface, ready to blow the fragile peace in Genoa City apart. Struggles for power and betrayals turned moments of luxury into scenes of chaos, as some fought to prevent their families from disintegrating and others wove elaborate lies to gain the upper hand. For viewers starved of heartbreak, blazing clashes, and jaw-dropping plot twists, June 16th to 20th did not disappoint. Secrets long buried tested delicate relationships to the breaking point. Mariah's hidden past returned, jeopardizing everything she holds close. Victor Newman's looming shadow kept everyone in suspense, causing trouble at home and in the workplace. Mariah continued to spiral as painful memories of a night spent drinking with an older man haunted her every waking moment. Determined to keep this secret buried forever, she chose to push Tessa away, insisting on a separation so she could cope alone. Tessa, blindsided and devastated, sought comfort in Daniel's understanding presence. While their connection was purely platonic, it was enough to deepen Mariah's guilt when she found them together. Now, with Arya caught in the middle and Mariah shutting out everyone who loves her, viewers are left to wonder whether Tessa's patience and compassion can save this fractured family, or if Mariah's silence will destroy it all. Meanwhile, tensions within the Newman family hit a breaking point when Adam and Chelsea made a bold choice to stand up to Victor. Rather than dragging Billy's name through the mud like Victor demanded, they stuck to their principles. They were fully aware they'd have to face Victor's legendary wrath for defying him. Despite that, they braced themselves for the consequences of crossing the patriarch. Victor made it clear that such defiance would have severe consequences. His looming threat reminded everyone that betrayal within the Newman clan rarely goes unpunished. Elsewhere, Nate Hastings wasted no time cutting ties with trouble. He firmly ordered Holden to pack his bags and leave town, determined to remove the threat before it escalates. With Nate taking charge, fans are left to guess if Holden will quietly disappear or return for revenge. Amid the turmoil, some hearts dared to dream of happier endings. Danny opened up to his son, Daniel, about his heartfelt plan to ask Christine to marry him again. His desire for another shot at forever with her touched longtime fans who've watched their roller coaster romance unfold over the years. However, while Daniel wanted to share in his father's happiness, his mind was elsewhere, torn between comforting Mariah and Tessa and being the supportive son Danny needed. It was clear that Daniel's heart was being pulled in too many directions, threatening to dim the joy of Danny's hopeful plans. Halfway around the world from Genoa City, Aristotle Dumas' opulent party along the Riviera of France became a backdrop for secrets, espionage, and treachery. Guests arrived in small, staggered groups and climbed aboard a decadent private train, complete with warm sleeping berths. However, arrival at Dumas's lavish estate wasn't that easy. They first had to navigate through a vast, turny hedge maze that challenged both their patience and their sense of direction. Inside, Dumas's creepy assistant, Carter, watched everyone with concealed cameras while rumors circulated regarding the reclusive host's identity. Frustrated by Dumas's not being there, some guests threatened to leave until Amanda stepped in. She calmed them down and arranged a private meeting between Lily and the enigmatic figure behind it all. Phyllis, driven by her usual curiosity, attempted to follow Amanda and Lily, but was forced to return to the party before she could eavesdrop. In a jaw-dropping moment, Lily came face-to-face with Kane, who revealed that he had been masquerading as Aristotle Dumas the entire time. Shocked and betrayed, Lily fled back into the maze, overwhelmed by panic. Devon and Damien rescued her from her full-blown anxiety attack. Moments later, Kane boldly appeared at the party, and Victor, who had pieced it all together, confirmed for everyone that Kane was the man behind the Dumas facade. Guests were stunned as the web of lies fell apart, leaving Kane to face Lily's heartbreak and Victor's calculated amusement at the scandal. With Mariah drowning in her guilt, Lily reeling from Kane's betrayal, and Victor tightening his grip on every piece of leverage, Genoa City is bracing for even more explosive confrontations. Will Mariah finally open up before it's too late? Can Kane redeem himself, or has he lost Lily for good? And how will Victor turn this chaos to his advantage, as he always does? Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless every weekday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus for the next chapter in this tangled tale of love, secrets, and power. The upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera The Young and the Restless, airing on June 23, 2025, will be filled with drama, shocking moments, and tough questions. The focus stays on Kane Ashby, who was secretly living as Aristotle Dumas. Now that the truth is out, the powerful guests at his party want answers. The impact of Kane's secret life continues to stir up trouble at his grand estate in Nice. In this episode, viewers can expect tense showdowns as Billy Abbott, Lily Winters, and Victor Newman all confront Kane and question his story. At the same time, Phyllis Summers tries to make a deal with Kane, while Amanda Sinclair gives him a serious warning. With more guests arriving late to the party, emotions run high and new alliances start to form. After everyone finds out that Aristotle Dumas on The Young and the Restless is Kane Ashby, the guests at the fancy estate quickly start asking questions. Billy Abbott, who had spoken to Kane when he was pretending to be Dumas, feels especially tricked. He gets angry and demands answers. At the same time, Lily wants the truth too, especially after her intense meeting with Kane in the maze. She asks him to be honest and explain how he became so rich in only 6 years. Kane says he made his money in an honest way and insists there's nothing shady about how he built his empire. But because of his past and how quickly he got rich, it's hard for others to believe him. With a huge estate in Nice and a fake identity, people are very suspicious. Even Victor Newman, who had business problems with Dumas before, feels something isn't right. Victor may have started to suspect Kane's true identity a while ago, and this episode might reveal when he first put the pieces together. After things calm down a bit at the party on The Young and the Restless, Amanda Sinclair takes Kane aside for a private talk. She knows how dangerous Victor can be and warns Kane not to take him lightly. Amanda brings a smart, careful approach to the situation, but Kane still believes he can stand up to Victor. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers sees a chance to benefit from the situation. She approaches Kane with a bold idea to team up, saying they could be a strong pair. Phyllis uses her charm and determination as she tries to connect herself to Kane's new success. Just when things seem intense enough on The Young and the Restless, a few more guests finally arrive at the party. Michael Baldwin, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Chance Chancellor, and Abby Winters walk into the middle of the drama after Kane's secret is revealed. Other guests quickly update them on what's happened, leading to more reactions and questions. These new arrivals will likely bring fresh opinions and make the situation even more complicated. Abby, in particular, may face a tough time choosing between her loyalty to her family and her connection to Cain. In the upcoming week of The Young and the Restless, the storyline will take a dramatic turn. The weekly preview for June 23rd to 27th, 2025, reveals that Billy Abbott will demand to know what is going on with Aristotle Dumas. He will try to make sense of the situation when Cain Ashby reveals himself to be Dumas. In the meantime, Lily Winters will warn Cain. She will insist that there should be no more secrets or games. The preview discloses that everyone will learn about the whole truth surrounding Aristotle's identity and why he has gathered everyone in France for the big revelation. On the other hand, everyone will start suspecting Chance and wonder why Cain wanted him at the party. Elsewhere, Phyllis takes the center stage and prepares to make a pitch in front of everyone. Lastly, Claire and Holden will come closer to each other, while Audra and Kyle are off in France. According to the spoilers preview of The Young and the Restless for the week of June 23rd to 27th, 2025, Lily will meet Cain and warn him, saying there should be no more secrets or games. Everyone will learn the whole truth about how Cain decided to become Dumas and why he planned to gather everyone for the shocking revelation. Billy will try to figure out what is going on with Aristotle Dumas. He will demand to know the truth about the situation when Cain reveals himself to be Dumas. Other guests will start arriving at the scene after the chaos surrounding Aristotle's identity settles down. Michael Baldwin, Lauren Fenmore, Chance, and Abby will find themselves in a weird situation as things take a wild turn at the party. All of them will get updates regarding the situation as they discover that Aristotle Dumas is actually Cain. Meanwhile, on The Young and the Restless, Chance's sudden invitation to Aristotle's party will likely stir up a new mystery. Everyone present at the party will start suspecting Chance Chancellor, wondering why Dumas decided to invite him at the last moment. Out of all the people invited to Aristotle's bash, Jack Abbott suspects that Chance stands out the most. Everyone will speculate about why Cain wanted Chance at the party. Diane Jenkins, while addressing the situation, suggests it's because Cain has ties to Jill Abbott. On the other hand, Sally will think about a possible connection with Chancellor Industries. Billy will state that Cain wanted Chance at the party because the latter was a cop. He says, although Chance is out of his jurisdiction, everyone will suspect that Chance wanted a detective around, since a bomb is about to drop soon. Later, Amanda will warn Cain that Victor Newman is a dangerous enemy who should not be underestimated. However, Cain will feel that he is the one being underestimated by everyone, initially by Aristotle Dumas, and later by Cain Ashby. The preview features Audra preparing to get some sun with Kyle. Audra hands Kyle a tube of Jabot's birthday suit sunscreen. She asks Kyle if he minds, hinting at the fact that the two will spend some time together while Kyle applies some sunscreen to Audra. Meanwhile, Claire Newman will run into Holden. While Claire will think it is because of her good fortune, Holden will believe that he is the lucky one. With Kyle and Audra off in France for Aristotle's party, Claire and Holden will get the opportunity to spend some time together. June 1620 was everything we wanted, and more. The Young and the Restless knows how to bring the drama, and June 1620 was no exception. From Adam's wild twist to Mariah's shocking breakup to Aristotle Dumas' bombshell reveal, we couldn't have asked for a more twisted and emotional week in Genoa City. Adam had our jaws on the floor on Monday when he announced he's siding with Billy. Yes, Billy? In fact, he's turning against his dear old dad to do it. While Chelsea is all for this twisted turn of events, we gotta say, we're a bit scared for Adam's future. It's not easy going against the mustache, especially when you're one of his kids. The betrayal will hit hard, and once Victor's wrath begins, there will be no end in sight. Is Adam making a mistake? You betcha! Mariah! What are you doing? We had to grab our tissues on Thursday as we watched Mariah throw her entire life away. Okay, yeah, she's holding on to a secret, and from the sounds of things, it's bad, but bad enough to break up with Tessa and destroy her whole marriage? Yikes. Even while Tessa begged and pleaded for her to stay and promised to not dump her no matter what, Mariah held fast to her belief she needed to walk away. Poor Tessa was willing to forgive literally anything, even an affair, But that wasn't enough. Mariah ended things right then and there and walked away from her soulmate. Oh, wow. Did Friday ever bring the drama? Aristotle Dumas had his guests all gathered and decided to make his reveal. First, of course, was a private meeting with Lily, because as most fans have guessed, Dumas isn't really Dumas at all. He's Kane. Yes, Kane Ashby. Lily was absolutely floored to learn her broke former hubsan is now a billionaire. She had many questions. But he wasn't exactly an open book. Kane promised all would be revealed in due time. But we don't want to wait. We want all the juicy details, and we want them right now. While we expected this, and we were sure we were right about theory that Kane is the mystery man, we weren't ready.